Hello, everybody, and welcome to English 102 Week 3. The big thing we have going on this week is the literature review assignment. And so I'd like to get on here and just take a couple moments to talk about this literature review assignment. This is huge. This is 150 points, and this is going to set the stage for everything that happens throughout the rest of the semester. You know, in weeks 1 and 2, you were kind of playing around, toying around with what topic am I going to choose. Some people were selecting kind of like a research topic rather than a debatable topic. And it's very important. We want a debatable topic. I mean, this is a topic that you would have a debate over, right? You would have an argument. Somebody has an opposing view. And if it's a good topic, you know, what might start as a little argument might end up, you know, with a fist fight or something. So, you know, is there a cause that you're willing to die for, right? You know, you're willing to kill for, to go to jail for, I don't know. That is a debatable topic, something you feel so strongly about that you'll defend it to the bitter end. That's what you're supposed to be selecting here. So anyway, this literature review assignment is where the two articles that you selected, you're going to review those articles. You're going to see if it stands up against your scrutiny. Is it a good source? You know, I posted things in the announcements. Hopefully everybody's looking at the announcements. Any announcements from English 101, like, you know, the CRAP test and some of those other things. So anyway, this literature review assignment is going to be a 3 to 4 page essay written in APA format. So when it says 3 to 4 pages, your title page does not count. Your reference page doesn't count. So every APA formatted paper has a title page, has a reference page. Those two don't count for your 4 pages, all right? And what you're going to do is you're going to evaluate 2 sources that you looked up. One of those sources should be from like WebEBSCOhost, you know, a good source off of the internet, one that has been or not off the internet, off the WebEBSCOhost one has been peer reviewed, those kind of things. So we talked about in that English one, what is a good source. Your second source can be from the internet. Now, obviously, things like Wikipedia are not considered valid sources, so you got to be careful. It'd probably be best if you chose, you know, 2 from the library sources, but you know, the directions say that you can have 1 from the internet. So you're going to locate, retrieve, and evaluate data from the sources needed for an effective research write. All right. So in your process, you're going to choose your topic. You're going to research, develop research questions, and you're going to evaluate at least 2 sources. And here we go. All right. You're going to put it together in this 3 to 4 page APA format of literature review and reinforce the importance and feasibility of your selected topic. You're going to want to review the rubric, all right? I put an announcement about what you can do to be successful in this class. And you are always going to want to have a copy of the assignment instructions and a copy of the rubric. And the reason this is important is because these 2 documents are what I use to grade your paper. These 2 documents are how you're going to be evaluated. So if I'm going to have these 2 documents printed out and right there as I'm reading through your paper, and I'll be flipping through the rubric and making sure that you meet the required components in order to get a good grade. So if I'm going to have these, it only makes sense that you should have these also as you write. I strongly recommend, you know, you print them out. If you're like me, you got 1 computer screen, and trying to juggle, you know, writing in Microsoft Word and getting your resources up and juggling between the rubric and the instructions is too much. I would get easily lost, all right? And I'm pretty tech savvy. So I like just having them printed out right in front of me. I strongly recommend you do that. So anyway, you want to look at the rubric, which we'll go over here in just a minute. You're going to conclude your paper. Okay, wait. Here we go. So you're going to write 3 to 4 page APA formatted review that reinforces the importance and feasibility of your topic. Okay, so it's going to be broken down. This is how this 3 to 4 page paper is going to be broken down. You're going to have an introduction, all right? And I've posted announcements about introduction. In APA formatting, we are going to have a thesis statement. One of the very first announcements I posted was how to develop a thesis statement. And I gave the example of a little teeter-totter, and the fulcrum of that teeter-totter is the word because. I put a statement, and then I say the word because, and then I give a reason why. So for instance, if you chose a debatable topic like, let's say that the earth is flat. Okay, there are flat earthers out there. You might say that, NASA has lied to the American people because the whole moon landing was recorded in a Hollywood studio. Okay, that would be a good thesis statement. You're making a claim that NASA lied. You're using the word because, that's that pivot point, and you're giving a reason why. Now, the whole rest of the paper would be trying to figure out or prove, using your resources, that the moon landing was filmed in a Hollywood studio and, we never went to the moon and all that other stuff. So, is that a debatable topic? Heck yeah. Are people passionate about it? Heck yeah. Find a debatable topic, there you go. That's a funny one, isn't it? All right, so we're going to have this introduction, and so we're going to have the thesis statement, and the last sentence of your introduction is going to be what's called a preview sentence. And a preview sentence is going to list the headings in your paper, okay? And let's talk about APA formatted papers and headings. APA formatted papers always have headings, okay? They will never ever have a heading that says introduction, but they will always have a heading that says conclusion. So conclusion is always going to be your last heading, and it's always going to be the last word in your preview sentence, okay? So if you look through the instructions, you've got where we're going to have to do a main body with, we're going to summarize and analyze source one. Okay, well, that could be a heading. We're going to reflect on source one. That could be a heading. We're going to summarize and analyze source two. That could be a heading. We're going to reflect on source two. That can be a heading. So, it's very easy to figure out what your headings are going to be if you just look at the instructions. And oh, by the way, that's going to match what's in the grading rubric. All right. So in your main body should be about 5 paragraphs or so. Like I said, you're going to do a summary and an analysis of 2 sources, okay? It's saying about 2 paragraphs per source. If you go over 2, that's fine. In your summary analysis, you're going to summarize your first source into paragraph, which means you've got to read it. And you've got to condense, maybe a 3 or 4 page article into a paragraph. How are you going to summarize it? And I posted in the announcements some infographics about summarizing and paraphrasing. All right. And then you're going to reflect on that topic and, what'd you learn from that topic? What are the themes that the source revealed? Those kind of things. And simply, if you answer these questions, it'll be very easy to develop those paragraphs. A paragraph should be about 5 to 8 sentences. 2 sentences is not a paragraph. 3 sentences, 5 to 8 sentences at least. And then you're going to have your conclusion. Now, your conclusion is always going to have your thesis statement restated in a different way. I've written many, many papers. I've taken many, many college courses. And when I write, I always write my introduction and my conclusion at the exact same time. I do not write in a linear fashion. I don't start with my introduction. I don't write through the body. And I write the introduction and the conclusion at the exact same time, because the introduction and conclusion should be a mirror image, okay? Opposite but equal. So if this is my introduction, then this is my conclusion. If I have a thesis statement in my introduction, then in my conclusion, I have a thesis statement that's kind of flipped. You know, it's kind of restated in a different way. So it also says that in your conclusion, you might want to explain, what are you going to do with this information? All right. So APA formatting is double spaced. It's going to be Times New Roman font. It's going to be 12 point. We're going to have a title page. We're going to have the headings. We're going to have the reference page. Now, I am going to do a favor for y'all. I am going to put in a little template. I've developed this template. I've been using it for years, and I like to share it with my students. I will do a separate announcement about that template. All right. So another thing about APA formatting and academic writing is your point of view. Okay. Academic writing, APA formatted writing should be in a third person point of view, meaning you're going to be using pronouns like he, she, they, them. You never, ever, ever write in second person point of view. Second person point of view is the pronoun you and we and us and our. All right. And oftentimes we talk like this, and when we're writing, we're like, oh yeah, don't you agree with me? Don't you think that, no, that is bad academic writing. Don't write in second person point of view. You'll get nailed for it. All right. And then it does say with first person point of view, you can use first person point of view only in your reflection. And first person is, I believe that, or this is important to me because, okay? So using I and me, that's first person. If there's a way that you can reflect in third person, then I would say go ahead and do third person to keep it consistent, but absolutely, positively do not use second person, okay? So, and oftentimes second person is used with instructions. When I'm writing my announcements to the class, I'll say you, that's second person. Not good in academic writing, not acceptable in APA formatting, all right? So now let's take a look at the rubric. Again, this is a very important document. It's going to break down the grading point by point, and so we have 150 points total on this assignment. And it's broken down into columns, and you want to stay over here. You want to get 10 points. You want to get 10 points. You don't want to get 0 points. You don't want to get 6.5 points. You want to stay over here in the 10-point section. All right. So first, it's going to be on how is your essay developed and organized? Do you have all the required paragraphs? How do I know if I had all the required paragraphs? Because it says so in the instructions. So again, have the instructions, have the rubric, keep them handy, keep them printed out as you write, keep them side by side, because you're going through this rubric just like a checklist. Do I have the required paragraphs? Check. Or do I have most of them? Oh, if I have all of them, I'd get 10. If I have most of them, well, it keeps going down. If I only have a few of them, if you didn't even attempt it, are they clear? Are they organized? Do you use effective topic sentences and transitions? And did you meet the page requirements? The page requirements are 3 to 4 pages in your body. So if you turn in a paper that's got 2 pages, all right. So next, it's going to ask you about APA formatting, which is 10 points. It is very easy to determine if something is an APA formatting or not. What do I look like? What do I look for with APA formatting? Title page. I look for the title appearing 4 times. I'm going to talk about that. Actually, I think I put a post. I did put a post in the announcements about APA formatting. I used a paper that I wrote several years ago. Watch that. I don't need to rehash that. Look, it's on another announcement. Okay. Is it double spaced? If you have single space anywhere in there, not APA formatting. If your title page is not in the proper format, not APA formatting. If you don't have the reference page in proper formatting, it's not APA formatting, okay? So there you go. How's your standard written English, okay? Well, I like to call that GUM, grammar, usage, and mechanics. So there are 10 points for English. Do you demonstrate a strong grasp of the English language? Did you proofread it? Did you, look for errors? Listen to me. Writing is a process. You cannot even hope to sit down at one time and write a paper from start to finish and think that it's going to be acceptable and I can just turn that in. You got to write. You got to review, you got to trim the fat, you got to, develop it. It is a process. It is an adventure, so to speak. It's not just a one and done kind of deal. And so you're going to have to go back and edit. And again, you keep the rubric, you keep the instructions handy as you're reviewing and editing and preparing that paper. Check, double check, always check. Okay, after the standard written English, we are going into the introduction and the topic background. Do you do all three of the following? So if you want to get, and this is worth 15 points. If you want to get 15 points, number one, do you identify your topic? Number two, do you establish your necessary background? And number three, do you highlight the scope of your research thus far? All right? You got to do those three things to get the 15 points. Next, we go into the purpose and research question analysis. You should include a strong statement of purpose. Why? Why are you selecting this topic and what do you hope to accomplish, okay? And you need a well-developed analysis of 3 research questions, okay? And that's also in the instructions, which I think I failed to mention that in the instructions, but it is in the instructions, 3 research questions. If you don't have 3 research questions, you're not going to get 15 points, okay? Again, I am using this like a checklist to grade you. You use this like a checklist to write your paper. Your body, okay? So your body's going to be broken down into a summary of your first source. And your summary should include 3 things, okay? Number 1, you identify the author, you identify the title, and you identify the publication year. If you don't have the author, title, and publication year, you're going to get points off. That is so easy to write in your introductory sentence in this summary. And I would say probably 50% of you are going to miss it. So don't miss it. I'm giving you the warning now. Don't miss it. Okay. Then you state the main ideas and the major details. Okay. And the student is objective and concise. Objective means you're not inserting your personal opinion. Okay. So for instance, if we chose a topic like abortion, that is a debatable topic and you are pro-life. And in your summary, you refer to, pro-choice people as baby killers. If they do that or if they don't do that, that is a biased, a highly charged kind of word. It, tips your hand, so to speak. That would not be keeping an objective tone. That would be very subjective, okay? Then we have the analysis of source 1, and you've got 3 things that you have to do there. You have to, let's see, student clearly completes all 3 of the following. Establishes the relevance to your first source, to the research questions. So you're going back to your 3 research questions. You analyze the strengths and the weaknesses of source 1. That's the second thing you have to do. And you incorporate at least 2 citations from the source. So citations is when we're talking about quotes, or they could be a summary. And that's what in week 1, that whole plagiarism thing is, okay? If you use a direct quote from the source, you must use quotation marks and you must do the proper citation. The APA citation would be in parentheses, the author's name, comma, the date, comma, and then either the page or the paragraph number where that quote came from. Close parentheses, period. One of the big mistakes people do with citations is they will state the sentence, they'll put a period, and then they'll put the citation outside of the sentence, and it's just floating there. All right, the citation is part of the sentence, so it is, again, a direct quote, quotation mark, blah 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 blah, quotation mark, parentheses, author, comma, date, comma, page or paragraph number, and you don't put P5, you just put like 5, close parentheses, period. If you take something that's not a direct quote, but it's a specific idea, then you would leave out the paragraph number. You just put the, in the parentheses, you put the author's name, comma, and the date, close parentheses. All right, so there you go. And I should probably talk more about citations. I think I'll do a separate post about citations. All right, you're going to do that for your second source. And then finally, we have our conclusion. Okay. Oh, wait. We have a reflection before the conclusion. Okay. The reflection is worth 15 points. It includes appropriate, well-developed reflection. The student includes thorough answers to the following questions. So here you go. What did you learn? Answer that question. What answers are left to find? Answer that question. And what would change, or what would you change about the research process? So those 3 questions have to be in your reflection. Boom, boom, boom. If you don't have those answers to those 3 questions, you don't have 15 points. And, I guess you could say everybody's going to start out with 150 points, but when you leave things off, you're just going to whittle away those things. So finally, our conclusion, which is worth 15 points. It ends with a clear, thorough conclusion that restates the effectiveness of the argument and provides an excellent sense of closure. Okay, and you're also going to throw in there a restatement of the thesis statement. All right, so overall score, 150 points. If you have any questions, please email me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Good luck, good writing. All right, catch you later.